Now I'm about to take you back to a game you may or may not know. Shonen Jump Ore Collection. Alright. This is a game that you can get on your phones no longer. This is a game that's about to go out in a few days. This entire game that never was localized and you probably never heard of is a game that, for someone who doesn't like mobile games very long, someone who drops them so fast, this was one that I stuck to longer than anything else. I would consistently play this. Dokkan Battle, I would drop. Legends, I've dropped. I cannot stick to any of these. Besides this game. I've played this game basically since I found it, all the way till its death. There's a lot about this game that I liked. It's not necessarily dead. They're making a second game that's going over this game as an update. So when I say you can't play this anymore, it's not like, oh, the servers are shut down, but you can still download the app. No. This app is going to get wiped, and it's going to turn into the next game. This game had so many different things that happened to it that it's kind of interesting in and of itself. The game started pretty simple. I believe they were like jump Festa units or just jump units. And what these guys were, I can actually just pull one up. The very first one is one I don't have, Super Saiyan Goku, but I can pull up the next best thing I guess I have. They had these kind of cards that you would awaken them and they would get this fancy aura. They'd be like, they'd have all this cool shit on them and they would be special. What they did right with balancing is this is a free card that you get at the very start of the game, because you can get all the characters that are like 2-3 star for free, right? And they started making characters like Kenshiro, who's a free character. They made him a jump character, instantly boosting his usability completely out of the roof. Now I have characters that are jump units, like him. I just never awakened. The reason? The game died. The game stopped supplying updates, stopped supplying new banners, stopped supplying anything. Its death is something I don't know why it happened. I'm guessing the game wasn't as popular. What they did is they fully overhauled. The game didn't used to look like this. These whole menus, this bottom row wasn't in this order before. They had changed how gear worked, which I personally didn't really care for, but it was something I learned. This was before the game's death. They overhauled how events worked. They were like in this menu. This was halfway-ish through the game. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this. They overhauled how this works. All the gear and just general equipment items. The free characters you can get through events, they just completely changed. I didn't like how they changed it at all, to be honest with you. Then, what they did is they did something people really wanted. They revamped this, which was basically, I can just jump in. It would get harder every stage, and you get rewards each stage. But yeah, they have this tower. This is the gameplay, by the way, that everything's going to die in like 2 hits. But they had these stylized arts that would come up and fight and hit, right? Straight from manga, which is what made it so cool. And then you had your skills that you could pre-select, and so you could have a whole strategy going, right? Of, okay, I'm gonna set this guy, I'm gonna set Suna, right, to do his boost before his ultimate, so that way I can get extra damage on the ult. I'm going to set Jotaro just straight to his ult. As soon as he gets close, I'm going to select a target with a lot of HP so he can just single fire and nuke it. I can actually do Suna's right now, who has, in my opinion, one of the cooler ults in the game. I re-rolled my account, and I really started playing this game when I got Suna. His ult's so sick. The game was just sick, right? Like, straight up, it was just sick. It was pretty good rates, first off. The way summoning worked in this game, it was not based simply off of, can I get the 5-star character or not, right? Right now, the game is dead, right? So they only have these type banners, and they just left it like that. And then you would cycle through. The summons were quick, no skip, which is, I think, weird. The thing about how characters worked in this game, right, though, is you see how everything has stars. That's just a random equipment item that you can use to level up characters. You see how each character, will just put one up, has stars. The thing with how this game worked is every 5-star character had a 4 and a 3-star version, and the starter characters like the old Gon, the old Naruto, stuff like that, they had 2-star versions as well. They could go all the way up to 5. So what you could do, after you fully level them up, you could either A, use characters that you pulled, or characters that you farm up, like the guys that I just did with free summons. You use them to level each other up till you get them all the way to the desired star amount. So like example with Killua, if I use 4-star characters of whatever kind, right? I could use example these guys, right? I'm not going to because I don't want to use Toriko out, right? But I could level him up and awaken to his 5-star version, which is this Killua right here. And then when I do that, I get them to 5 stars. I could make them their jump version, right? After I grind up all them, and then you're done. It was that free-to-play nature of this game that really made me like it. Because as you can see, right, even without ever spending a dime on the game, ever, because I didn't know how, frankly, this game's Japanese only, good luck with these menus, right? But I have Suna, who's what I originally started on. I have completely maxed out. Fully soul boosted, or whatever they call it in this game, I can't remember. Again, the only information you could get on this game, right, was from the database or the Discord. But you had some really dedicated people to this game, which made it entirely worthwhile to play. It made the game playable, right? But I had Suna, who was like my star pupil. I am fully victoried, which was basically like, you know, Dokkan has the way of rainbowing a unit. That's kind of like this. This is, I guess, it's weird because there's multiple ways to rainbow a unit, right? You have to victory them, which is you get to get 5-star characters, put them in, and then you can get them victory, which gives them higher stats. Their actual level, and then their soul boost, which then you're completely done. I didn't completely finish Suna. I was on the brink. I was very close. The skills, a couple, grind up a little bit, get the seals needed for it. Done. Couple levels from just the bells to level them up, done. But never got around to that. And along with gear, which is the most important part of this game, I'd say. I had Luffy, who is free, but he's a pretty cool unit. I remember Jotaro came out like his own banner. He was super desired when he came out. I remember that. I remember this guy, who many people know now because the anime coming out, but Tanjiro from Demon Slayer, who was on the brink of being meta. It's actually pretty sad. The game died right before he became meta, because what he did, his leader skill, was he gave, or like a passive, I don't know which it was. I think it was lead. He made all sword characters stronger. So he was starting to introduce categories more or less to the game, because the game was very mono heavy, or few categories like the Sket Dance teams, which is what I used on PvP when I did play it. The game did have PvP, which was what kept the game alive more or less for a long time. But yeah, you could have Tanjiro. I haven't seen Hitman Reborn in so long. I really want them to make a new anime for it. Rukia, who also had a JF, who's fucking sick. Like, I said JF, Jump Force, fuck that game. But who's sick as hell. Dude, look at her card art's awesome. I'm not even into Bleach and that card's sick. Let me see. They had Yamcha, who, bro, Yamcha was busted. I think he was even still good after some stuff. He was still alright. I feel like Yamcha was always good. That's really weird about this game, is he did so much damage, which was what mattered. Gohan, one of the last characters they introduced to the game, like, for jump units, that, like, I personally went for. I wanted Gohan so bad. I got him, I think, on those type banners, basically, right when they came out, because the game wasn't confirmed to be dead when they dropped those type banners. They were just like, okay, this is the next thing we're doing. From my knowledge, anyway, this is the next thing they were doing. Then more would come. Game died right after. Soma, who was basically, from a PvE mindset, was meta, because he was a healer. If you didn't have a healer, you didn't keep your account. They let you choose your new character, like your starter, which doesn't matter then. But at first you had to keep re-rolling. They let you choose your starter after, so that was sick. I already spoke about Kenshiro, but Kenshiro was a really good unit who I didn't get to use too much in PvP, because I didn't finish him up. You can see his skills were all like 2 and 3, his ultimate was only 6. Not a lot of soul boost, wasn't even mastery either, which is the hardest thing to get, in my opinion. Along with the soul boosting, it's kind of even. They also were getting part 5 characters. Again, this game was like weirdly well timed, because like a year or two before, they get like part 5, which JoJo's was getting bigger by the time this game was a thing. Sasuke, Susanoo, sick ass unit. I got really lucky. I pulled him like on one of my first multis. Gon, this is what hurt me the most when this game died. Gon never got a second card to go into his adult form, but they never got him the arc from when he was in the game with Killua and, Bisky, all them, right? Never got to that. sucks. This dude, the god, I think he was probably, for me, he might have been my most hyped release. Sage Mode Naruto was so cool. Let's see, who else here? A lot of random starter characters. They had multiple Killuas, I think. I'm pretty sure this was the Killua that was like the jump unit, because they gave a free one out from logins as well. I literally just pulled Hiei today. Oh, Karma? I forgot he was in this game. He might have even been free to play. Could not be, though. But yeah, I think my prized possession in this game will always be Suna. And this video is just kind of a memorization, a hodgepodge, look-see back to this game, because I'm not going to be able to look at it in the next coming days. At least to my knowledge, they may let you look at your old account again. I highly doubt it, because you don't carry anything over to the second game, besides, like, the orbs and, like, some random stuff. You don't carry over characters. Oh yeah, one of the sickest things in this game. The team building was the most important part of the game, probably, but something that was super cool was, depending on your leader, you would have different covers. See, I switched to this leader. He has a different cover, and then it would put all the characters on the cover, and you can make your own Shonen Jump covers. It was super cool. I literally made a sword team because I was like, yo, he's kind of getting sick. Then the game died. Kind of hurts. But yeah, it was super cool, and a really interesting way of team building compared to Dokkan, right? This is the stupid circles. Okay, so this was like scenes that you could equip to characters, and it would give them boosts if you had like alignments of everything from the same series. It gives them super big stat boosts. It's another form of gear. They had story mode, which was the lamest part of this game. I'll be real with you. Story mode's trash. They never updated it once, never added anything. I never could read it, so I don't even know if there was anything in it. It's pretty trash. PvP, not actually, I guess, PvP, because you couldn't fight other people, you'd fight other people's teams. So I guess it was sort of PvP-ish, whatever. The team that I used, but I didn't play PvP that long, was this guy thing. I'll just jump in. It doesn't hurt. Oh no, it actually did get in. The thing that was OP about this team was these all let me get my ultimate super fast. This team right here, so you could get off your moves super quickly. This team's gonna die in like 2 hits because this is like some weird joke team. I don't know, but you could get off this right away. Get off. I think this hit the characters in the back, and then you could use this, which was just an AoE attack, I believe. I always liked how his ult looked, and it was what? Oh wait, no, it was just a super buff. Bobobo would seal units on like every move he had, which was busted. I have no idea how they released a unit like this for PvP, who was basically like, he was ridiculously strong. It made no sense. But yeah, PvP is not where I was really situated. I rarely played the PvP because I had way too underleveled of a group, of a team, which is another part of this game, was these like extreme events, these super events, whatever they're called. It's how you could unlock characters that I never personally got, like Final Form Frieza, Full Power, like Kaiba, like All Might. I could probably see him here actually, see more, blah 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 blah. I think I got Uraraka. I don't know if I ever farmed her up. I probably did. I feel like I farmed everyone. Vegeta, who he didn't even go Super Saiyan, it was interesting. Itachi, character I wanted super bad. Fucking the dude from Hunter x Hunter, I believe. I can't remember his name. Can't remember her name, so I think that's Saint Seiya. My dude, I can't remember your name, because again, Hitman Reborn is such a fucking mystery in my head. But, bro, and All Might, and Toguro. Those are the big boys I also kind of wanted. There's the summons. These type banners, right? The thing that stung a lot about when this game went out is these banners were legendary. These banners were probably the best, some of the best anyway, that the game would have seen, was just releasing all these top tier characters of the type onto one banner, right? Obviously if it was one banner at all, it would be broken. But like, these 3 characters weren't the only characters on it, because it had all the other characters that could have possibly been on. Like the purple one example, one I can say specifically. Yellow, it's not showing Son Goku, the Super Saiyan from Planet Namek. Stupidest fucking way to describe him, holy shit. But Son Goku, they don't show him on the cover, but he's in the banner. But so some of these banners were stronger than others just because of how relevant the characters were. I was free to play. but I can imagine a lot of people spending money on those banners and then just getting fucked because the game died right after. That's the equivalent of releasing LR, Vegito, and Gogeta on Dokkan and then immediately killing the game right after. At the time, the best units in the game. Then just the game dies. That's incredibly fucked up. They had even newer properties, again, like My Hero, like Demon Slayer. Super cool. I think that just about covers the game, in all honesty. It had a lot of good properties to it. A lot of good characters and source materials to pull from. The art was great. All the attack animations for everything was so cool. There was something really special about this game. And I found it really weird that they just jumped to a second game because I didn't feel like the potential was tapped. Although the game was showing signs that it was dying. They released this, and what it did is after you completed it, which was ridiculously hard, like super hard, you would get a 6-star ticket for any of the jump characters, period, right? So Light, Ichigo, Josuke, Gohan, Yusuke, Naruto, all of them, including characters not shown here, I believe. You could get a ticket for them, and they were free. They released a big rework to the tower, which people wanted. They gave a free ticket, which was hard to get, but it was still a free ticket for any of the jump characters. Like the equivalent of Dokkan Fests. And you could just get them, which was huge. And then they killed the game. That shit still fucks me up. That's what they did. And the second game, again, it's coming out in a few days. So by the time this is out, you probably maybe can't play this anymore. So I wanted to just show it off because this is something we won't be able to view again. And yeah. I mean, the second game's coming out. It's practically an entirely different game. And will I play it? Yeah, I'm gonna try it. But I will miss this game because I did play it a lot. But it's no longer going to be playable. Just to slide through my inventory of characters, everything that I had. And I'm going to have a shitload of tickets and orbs when the second game comes around. I think that's about everything. Everything in this game that I could offer at least some knowledge or interest in. The gear I don't care about too much to show. PvP I never was into that much, really, right? And I hope the next game keeps a lot of the same mentalities and how they made it. And I hope it doesn't lose how free to play it was. At least from... It's decently free to play, right? It just took a lot of grinding. Which was... I preferred grinding over unplayable. Because a lot of games nowadays, you just can't do that on gacha games. You gotta pay money. But Dokkan generally and this game are the games that are not so pay to win for me that I can actually play them. But yeah, Ori Collection 2, I'll probably maybe make a video about it. Be sure to look around for Ori Collection 2 to make sure the game doesn't also fucking die. Watch videos on it, join Discords. Join the Ori Collection Discord. That's not a sponsor or anything, or a fucking... They told me to say that. I'm just saying join it. Join the fucking Jump Heroes, the Unti Jump, fucking whatever that shit's called, gacha games. Just play the Shonen Jump games because they aren't bad. They're good. Generally, a lot of the gacha games are pretty good. So yeah, check out Ori Collection 2, anything. So yeah, that's all.